That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome. We're here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world. It is, the sun is setting on your face right now, it's kind of cute. The whole
I don't know whether to be insulted by that
the side
or...
of your face has a glow of golden sunset.
So no dark circles?
No, I don't know what the internet is talking about. You don't have dark circles.
Oh, no, that's just a bunch of little bitches being petty because I'm speaking truth and,
Did you call someone ugly?
No.
Okay.
I just,
I'm like, why would they say that?
Told them that their heroes were frauds and shams, and they felt the need to personally attack me because that's how they make their dicks bigger.
Well, we are here to talk and bring.
They're all bots anyway. They're not real.
No, well, that's just it. Is anything negative on the internet?
How are you? We usually start with
you know what? Yeah. I'm okay. Okay. Yeah. It's a lot. We got.
Are you
a long
cramps?
Week ahead
Are you
of us.
tired? Are you?
I am. My legs hurt. My legs are super tired. Yeah. I feel like we did a lot today. For day one of your vacation.
What vacation?
Like
this
did a lot.
This is not a vacation.
We've got a whole
This
week.
is work of a different kind.
We've got a whole that's just it. We've got a whole week of work. But I mean, it's not really that different from any other week.
Listen, when I'm in the car on the way to our 4 gigs later this week,
and your butt falls asleep, and your legs are tired from being in the car all that time and everything.
And then I'm in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by ducks and geese and
no cell signal,
rednecks and hot rods and large containers of alcohol.
Yeah.
Wait, no, we already did that. I don't know.
But you want to do the rules? Let's do the rules.
Get the rules.
Well, get the rules.
Get the rules.
We have 3 rules for the sake of civility here in podcast land, and that is no judgment, nothing personal, and don't be a dick.
And that goes double for all you Instagram people out there.
Yeah, I don't know what's with people are being real nasty lately.
What did I say this morning? I said the internet's getting real cruel. Is that it?
Yeah. And I mean, that's what it's used for. Is it? It's used
That's
for...
not historically what it's used for.
But lately, it's used for cruelty. Because I guess cruelty is clickbait now.
It's a safe space for the keyboard social justice warriors.
Well, it's a platform for everyone's bad, everyone's nasty opinions.
It is the safest of spaces for the people that will badmouth me over a post.
Yeah.
But not have the balls to get in my face.
And it's not a big deal. Like, it's really not, because like I'm a walking safe space for whatever fucking opinion you have. But like, I don't want the vibes. I don't want that bad energy. But it's like, what a fucking waste to be walking around just full of bad vibes.
We've talked about this before. We've talked about, irrefutable proof.
Yeah.
And, I don't set out, and I've said this before, I don't set out to set anyone off or to get under anybody's skin. But when I know something to be 100% factually truthful and provide references and evidence and something that would give a reasonably prudent person, something we learned in school, reason to believe that facts are facts, and people are still challenged. It's like, well, then there's no hope for those fucking people because they're lost.
Well, we were talking about something earlier, which makes me think there's already no hope for them, and that's this.
No, for people or the internet or both.
I'm gonna go with the people on the internet. Not everybody, but we were talking about it earlier, and we've talked about it a few times because you call them broccoli heads. And I know exactly.
They used to be called gym rats.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I have worked with a few of them. And I, first of all, was unaware that many
younger people,
many grown
men.
I want to say grown men
because they're probably over the age of 18.
They're over the age of 20.
That's even worse.
And I was unaware that this many grown men had curly hair.
We're breaking the rule because we're about to, be a dick to so many people.
No, we're not going to be a
with
dick.
Unfortunate hairstyles.
We're not going to be a dick. It's just I don't.
It's
like when everyone the thing was putting steps in your eyebrow. I don't think anybody does that anymore.
I just realized we're both not wearing pants.
We don't have to wear pants. We're like newscasters. She's not wearing pants. She only wears jammy pants.
It seems like it's slowly becoming a more recent, I guess, social media trend where they're drawing or bringing attention to this being a thing, because
the haircuts.
I'd never heard the term broccoli head until maybe a week or two ago.
See, and I had never heard the term, but you have pointed out that these haircuts look like broccoli.
Because the internet does.
But you've pointed it out for several weeks. Not like persistently, you're not like obsessed with it, but
no.
you have mentioned it, and it made me laugh because I'm like, I never actually realized, but you're right. Like, it does look like broccoli.
I mean, it seems like laziness to me. It's just like, go get a fuck. I mean, I know I could probably use a trim right now, but still, it's like.
No, but what gets me is I don't think, like, how can this many grown men have curly hair? Are they getting perms? Are they keeping what's up here, but they're perming it?
Because if I don't comb my hair, it'll just naturally. Well, no, my hair stands up. But
yeah,
it's weird to see all these kids to us, with the shaved sides and back, but it's just like a rat's nest. It's like what Wesley Willis was singing about.
Now, don't get me wrong. We have lived through we've lived several decades.
Get that crazy ass mullet off your skull.
We have lived several decades of ridiculous trends. Particularly in style and fashion.
We're still doing it.
I know.
I mean, hair is just the tip of the iceberg.
It is what it is. I can only hope that eventually these people will grow out of it.
I mean, don't you cringe? Don't you just cringe when people say facts, bro?
I say facts.
Or fire? Or fucking...
No, because we said ridiculous shit also.
We used slang. We didn't, like...
We are the generation of bad and dope and tight.
Oh, I thought you were going to say bad grammar, but I mean, it's all bad grammar.
No, well, I mean, it is what it is. They're all colloquialisms. It's all, the weird
I dare any
because
any Gen Z and Gen Alpha to spell colloquialism.
I just did it in my head.
We're waiting.
But think about surely you have lived through. Remember when we were watching Saved by the Bell?
Yeah.
Do you remember how I threw a hissy fit?
Oh, the AC Slater pants? That was the style.
Whose style? I lived through the 90s.
It was the 90s style.
I lived through the 90s from start to finish, and I never saw those pants ever.
I mean,
You're talking.
I had pants like those,
You're talking like men's mom jeans. Because they had elastic at the ankle, they had elastic at the waist, but they also had belt loops, and they had like flap pockets on both the front and the back, and stonewash.
Hogan was wearing them in Suburban Commando.
Was he?
Yeah, at the end when he's skateboarding.
But I had never seen those pants, and I threw a hissy fit because I'm like, tell me this was not the style.
I used to get made fun of for those. Mine were just blue; they just looked like regular denim.
Yeah,
But I used to get made fun of because they're like, "Oh, you can't wear regular jeans." I'm like, the jeans I had worn up until that point were very stiff and very uncomfortable.
Dungarees.
And if I did wear a belt, it would always bite my stomach. It still does to this day.
I only started wearing a belt in high school, but it was literally an accessory.
I was also getting my dick caught in the zipper
as low as humanly possible. At that point.
Now my dick doesn't get caught in the zipper when I go to take a leak. Now my fucking balls get stuck in the zipper. It's really uncomfortable.
What does that have to do with a belt?
Because those pants didn't have zippers. They didn't have flies.
Well, that was when I started working at the dispensary, and the thing was, you cannot wear jeans with holes in them. Hey.
I apologize.
When I started working at the dispensary, and the thing was, you couldn't wear jeans with holes in them, and I'm like, shit, all of my jeans have holes in them, so I need jeans that I can wear.
Rule of thumb.
It's fine, but I'm not in front of people, so it's like, who cares? But I'm like, okay, I need to find jeans. Tops. So I ended up buying a bunch of drawstring waist jeans with elastic waistes and stuff, and I still love them.
I still want a pair of those rock singer pants that just button all the way up, and they've got the flared legs.
Button all the way.
Yeah, it's like button up crotch, and then it goes slim down it's like skin tight down the leg till you get to the ankle, and then it flares out.
What about the lace crotch ones? Or even
6
better,
in one, half in a dozen in the other.
Lace crotch and ass. Have you seen those?
No.
I've seen these both men and women. It's lace up the front, lace up the fly, but also lace up the butt. And I'm like, sorry, what?
That's too much to, maintain.
Too much,
it's like,
right? I mean, you got to double knot that shit. Otherwise, pranks ahoy. I can't even imagine.
Ugh.
I had feathered hair for a large part of my young life.
I can't really picture what that means right now.
Have you ever seen anyone on The Facts of Life? That 80s fluffy bangs and stuff.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, yeah.
I lived through that for a long time.
I think some friends and relatives probably did
because
too.
when I was young, when I was petite pequeño, right?
Well, I mean, you still
I had bangs all just straight across.
Oh.
I was that girl.
Boy, I don't miss that.
Oh yeah, I had the bangs straight across, and then when I got into like probably like 5th grade, the girl who would cut all of our hair and everything, she was like, have you ever like how about we try a feathered bang? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. So now we're into like the mid 90s and I'm like, I don't know what that means. Why not? And you're talking, I mean, I was an unfortunate looking child at this point. I was an adorable child and a very unfortunate preteen and early teenager. I had thick glasses. I had severe acne. I had braces. I was boxy and stuff. And
there are some stories my brothers could tell you, though.
Real horrific
But we're not competing here.
So now you throw feathered bangs onto it. And I'm just like, I think about that period of my life. And I'm really glad that there are probably not a lot of photos floating around. Like my parents and my sister probably have some, but I appreciate the fact that so far.
I mean, does anybody really have their like
off the
finger on the pulse of fashion at that point in their lives? Like we were kids, we didn't know anything. We were just following what we saw on TV or what our friends were doing, and it's just like
everyone on TV was dressed like they were 40.
Yeah.
Like teenagers in the 90s on 90s TV shows.
Button-ups, literally. Braided belts.
Yeah, braided belts, tucked in, in their...
Tucked in everything.
Tucked in everything.
I used to go in elementary school, I used to tuck in my t-shirts because that was the, like, you're supposed to tuck in. It's the appropriate way to wear it.
Blazers.
Yeah.
Oh, the blazers. Blazers with shoulder pads, loafers.
I still want a crushed velvet blazer.
I want to get you a crushed velvet blazer.
I still want one. I put one on. I want
you to wear, because you have that one velvet blazer that I think is so hot, and there's no way with these big beefy arms that you're ever going to be able to fit into it.
I outgrew it a long time ago.
Well, maybe I could wear it now.
It'd be like a long coat on you though.
Hot.
Yeah.
Hot. Like my ringmaster coat that I have with all the.
It's longer than a regular like coat jacket, so it's longer on me. Yeah.
Try it on after this with like a bra underneath it.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
That's hot.
Ooh, winter is coming.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about trends
and how silly some of them
are. Like I can't even think of some of the other like style trends these days because my fashion sense peaked in 97.
I've heard you say that so many times.
It's true.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's so true.
I'll tell you this.
I don't have a problem with it. I think I'm adorable.
So I just wore like whatever up until 6th grade.
Yeah.
And, I had like wrestling shirts and the elastic jeans and stuff like that. And just whatever. Like, and of course, anytime we went to go visit my brothers at school, my mom would always have to like load up on like the university t-shirts and sweatshirts without the hoods. And I'm just like, why am I wearing this to school? Like, none of my friends know about Northwestern or care about Northwestern University or Fairfield University. It's like, but my teachers are always like, oh, he's so handsome. And then in 6th grade, I don't know what wild hair I got up my ass, but I was like, I need to start wearing what everybody else is.
Yeah.
And so I bought a bunch of like generic, like NFL, like not specific jerseys, but they were just like, they were jerseys, but like with nobody's like name or number on them. Yeah.
They were just jersey shirts?
Yeah. They had them at Bob's, and it was just like team jerseys, but with so they weren't like, ridiculously expensive or anything, because I don't think my parents would have bought them.
Okay. I remember that being a big Christmas list item in my house when we were like preteens, were like the starter jackets and like the basketball jerseys and stuff. I don't think my sister or either one of us actually gave a single shit about basketball, but boy howdy did we have basketball gear.
And then, I decided to give blue jeans, like regular blue jeans, a try again.
Hot.
And so this was my wardrobe for most of 6th grade. But I mean, I've realized very early on, it didn't make a damn bit of difference. Like I had some stuff from like Abercrombie too. And I'm just like,
ooh, fancy.
Yeah, I know. And I was just, and then when 7th grade rolled around, I'm like, I don't like any of this. Yeah. Like I want to go back to what's comfortable. And so I started discovering that, band shirts was a thing. It's like, oh, I can get, band shirts. And I discovered like very baggy cargo pants. and skate clothes. That's when I started finding
Yep.
looking into CCS magazine
Mm-hmm.
catalog. And at that's when I really, 7th grade was when I stopped giving a shit what everyone's like impression of my appearance was. And that's where the whole like disconnect between my parents and I were just like, when you leave this house, you're representing us. So if you go out with holes in your jeans, they're going to think we're poor. I'm like, I really don't give a shit. Like, I like my clothes because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And
it's like I
don't want you to buy me new jeans. I like the ones I have.
I say how like my fashion sense peaked when in like 97, right? And I picked 97 because that was the year when a friend of mine, because 97 97 to 98 was when I was in 8th grade. And this was the point at which I had only had wide leg jeans. I was all about the wide leg jeans and the extra large t-shirts. And that was it. So now a friend of mine took me, we were at the mall because that's what we did. And we went to Jean Country. Do you remember Jean Country?
No.
Did you not have Jean Country?
I don't think so.
Oh man, that was like my favorite fucking store.
We had
Jean Country and Delia's is where I lived.
We had Delia's, but we had Abercrombie and Fitch. We had American Eagle. We had Aeropostale.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had Aeropostale.
Yeah. No Forever 21 and no Hollister until like way later.
Yeah. And my friend was like, "Let's get you a pair of bell bottoms." Because this is when they were coming back. Was
in the late 90s?
In the late 90s.
We're talking bell bottoms. We're talking parachute pants.
No, bell bottoms.
Bell bottoms. Okay.
Flare leg jeans.
Yeah.
This is when it started being the thing. And and I was like, I don't want them. I'm like, they're gonna make my ass look big. They're gonna be tight and everything. I'm like, I wear low rise, wide leg jeans. Like I was wearing jeans that were like, 4 sizes too big for me, and then belting it, and it was all, scrunched up and everything like that at the fly. And I wore extra large t-shirts, so you didn't see it anyway. And she took me into the store, and she convinced me to buy a pair of bell-bottom jeans. And they were the only pair of girls' jeans that I owned for like probably like 2 years. And then as I got into high school, I realized I was like, this is not my thing. I get it. It's everybody else's. But I was like, I tried shopping at American Eagle. I tried wearing the bootcut jeans and the little like, striped shirts and like, the polo shirts and stuff like that. And I tried, and I'm like, I can't do this. So by the time I got into high school, I was, so now we're in 98. I am wearing low-rise, gigantic jeans or cargo pants, either way. And when I say gigantic, I mean like, triangle shaped. And little baby tees.
Yeah.
Until I would wear them as much as I could without teachers yelling at me. But I was all about it. All the necklaces, the chains and everything like that, and that was my thing. And that's how I dress now. Was I wear large jeans and I wear crop tops.
Except now, instead of, getting shit from people at school or teachers, you're just getting shit from the internet.
Yeah. Because apparently it's not, it's not fashionable.
But again,
who gives a shit?
Who knows if they're even real or not?
Yeah. What?
We were talking about this last week. Like you can't tell if anything's a bot or not, or if something is like artificially generated.
And so many people are convinced at this point that like all like opinions it's all a bot. No, there's no point in arguing with people on the internet because they're all fake anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't set out to argue with people. It's just like that's why I stopped commenting. But like I was commenting on something recently again that I believed to be true, and it launched into this giant thing that it didn't need to be. And it's just like, I mean, I have real world experience to base my claims off of.
Yeah.
And these people who have nothing better to do than just chime back like every 5 seconds, be like, well, you're fucking stupid, and this is that, and this, like telling me this is this and that is that. And it's like, go away.
These people are not worth your time. And you know why? Because they don't know who Glenn Miller is.
No, they don't.
You in the mood for swing?
I'm always in the mood for swing. I was in the mood, Never mind.
We swang.
We swung.
We swung.
The English major.
Swang.
It's Tuesday. By the time this airs, it'll be Tuesday.
It will be Tuesday.
Oh,
but
boy.
like, I mean, people, you see a lot of TikToks and you see a lot of, memes.
I see a lot of them now. Yeah.
About.
'Cause I'm tired of going through Instagram and Facebook. It's
but you see a lot of them like, Gen X versus Gen Z.
Care.
No, Gen X versus Gen Z with regards to like, the slang and the trends and everything like that. And I'm just like, we're stuck in the middle of it.
Listen. They can have their trends. They can have their lingo. They can have whatever they want. But they need to max out on the work ethic from like 70, 80 years ago.
You are hell-bent on being like about this.
When I get back to the office every single day, whoever's on the desk is always complaining about the new guys because the new guys are all relatively young and very just... not inexperienced because they've been doing the job long enough to know what they're supposed to do, but like certain things, it's just like, don't you have any sort of common sense? Like, don't you like grasp that, there's certain things you do, certain things you don't do, certain things you say, like, how do you not, like just the other day, somebody asked me like, I won't get specific, streetwise, but they're like, where's 15-2? I'm like, next to 15-1. Like,
but what does their hair look like? What does this have to do with talking about ridiculous haircuts?
Because there's a growing trend, at least in my experience, that the generation after us and the generation after that, which we're living amongst now, is not only dabbling in trends that we don't necessarily understand, but again, they're also just not using their brain.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at them. It's kind of obvious. It's obvious.
They're more concerned with, having a broccoli-shaped haircut than... And
much more concerned with what kind of... Okay, so we went to Starbucks this morning, right?
Mm-hmm. Why are you being so quiet about it?
We went to Starbucks this morning.
Yeah.
We had a little coffee date this morning. We were sitting there having a little chat, and over your shoulder, I could see this young guy and a girl. They might have been out of high school, but I doubt it. Young kids and everything. And I guess, they sort of put their stuff down, and she got up, I think, to get like a cake pop or something. And while he's sitting there, he's got his phone in front of him, and he's looking over his shoulder, making sure she's not coming back, and he's fluffing up his hair. And a part of me
Precious.
just sort of went, oh, and I don't know what it is, but my brain also went, my brain made that face. It just went, because he's fluffing up his hair, but he's looking down at his phone while he's doing it.
So he can see his reflection.
But his hair is falling back down because he's looking down at his phone.
And he's not grasping the idea of gravity.
Yeah, but his hair was grasping it. And I'm just like, just sort of went, huh. And it just, and then it floated away. And then, I was just like, well, there you have it.
No comment. We did a common sense episode? We must have it by then.
We've done nothing but common sense episodes.
This is the Common Sense podcast featuring...
No, it's not all about common sense.
It's not?
No. I think it's about,
Well, this has been a good talk.
I think it's, everybody seems to think that there's some kind of culture war between the generations.
I mean, isn't there?
I don't think so.
No?
Like, did we actually have a culture war with the boomers? Gen Y.
Yes, actually we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
What was it?
Well,
I must have slept through it because, like,
are you technically a millennial, or are you like on the cusp of Gen X?
No, I'm Gen Y.
Okay.
I'm firmly in Gen Y.
I'm so glad you say Gen Y.
I don't like being referred to as a millennial
because it's got a negative connotation.
Well, I mean, it also doesn't
It
make
screams
any,
immaturity.
but it also doesn't make any sense. I'm not a.
You weren't
I'm
born
not,
that close. Yeah.
my formative years had nothing to do with the millennium. Like, period. It just wasn't. I was alive for the majority of the 80s. So it's like, I remember the 80s. It's not that I was born in the 80s. I remember them.
Yeah.
But everyone says, like millennials, and I heard somebody actually break it down into 3 separate subcategories of millennials. And I'm just like, we're Gen Y.
We don't have to listen to this kind of stuff.
We're Gen Y, and I've always been Gen Y. But like, I remember, like thinking that the war that we had with them was more like, like we're not your granddaddy's generation anymore, kind of a thing. This isn't your grandpa's party anymore. That we're more outspoken and we're more rebellious
because
and
they
like
expected us to follow suit like they did.
But did they?
Did they follow suit?
No, did they really expect that of us? Because
I mean, in my world, they certainly did.
I don't know.
Like I just told you, like if I left the house looking, disheveled, it was a poor reflection on them. And those are words straight from the horses' mouths.
But I don't think that is necessarily. See, I don't consider that a part of like.
I need that rack of suits like right now, like yesterday.
Your rack of suits. Tell the people about your rack of suits.
No, we'll save that for next time.
But like, I don't really think that I don't think that there was a culture war in my house. I really don't think so. Well, because my parents were hippies. They were boomers, but they were hippies. Like in their, they.
I don't think your parents qualify as boomers.
Well, they were a part of the baby boom, so yeah.
Yeah, they were products of the boom. They weren't boomers.
That's what the boomers are.
Oh, I thought the boomers were the boomers that gave birth to the.
No.
So you're okay.
The baby boomers are the ones who were born
during the baby boom. Your
boom.
Parents were okay.
Post-war.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So you have a sparkle on your cheek that is just so endearing right now. There's like a tiny piece of glitter on your cheek.
I blame you.
I hope it's mine.
Well,
otherwise you've been hanging around that pole too much. But I don't think there was a culture war in my house.
There's about to be a culture war at this table.
Like I remember my parents finding. I remember my parents finding like pairs of like old jeans. No, I kept that. I kept that to myself. I remember them finding like pairs of like their own old jeans, like cigarette like jeans and stuff that they had in the 70s and the early 80s, and being like, I want those. Like I absorbed their culture.
Well, I mean, like my parents, like, my brothers and I are of 2 different generations. Like,
yes,
like Mike and Mark are would qualify what Gen X,
yeah.
And John and I would be Gen Y.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you knew my father. He didn't jive with either one.
No.
We certainly had much more in common. I mean, but then again, like my mother was kind of like half in with him and then half in with us.
Yeah,
because she liked the Beatles, but then also liked Glenn Miller. And, I mean, that's just one example, but again, like, she was a lot more tolerant because, that's how she was.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of things about our generation, about the way we said things, the way we did things, our interests, that they didn't understand and didn't want to understand.
And I don't think that that's necessarily happening right now. I don't think it's that we don't want to understand. I think it's that they don't want to explain it to us.
That's fine.
Because these new ideas of culture, for the youth of the world, it's not even the youth of the nation anymore, because everything is worldwide via social media and the internet and everything. So you're talking about all of this ridiculous language and all of these silly looks and styles and everything that are worldwide. This is a phenomenon of something that they do not see it as anything other than, well, literally it's everywhere.
Like, I feel bad for the bar owners, but I love the fact that the next 2 generations are smoking and drinking a hell of a lot less, because that means they're going to live longer. They're going to be healthier. They're going to be more prone to making, you would hope, more prone to making better decisions as far as, their bodies are concerned. And you would hope that they eat right, but then again, people.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think that they're just trading in. I think
not everyone is trading in it for vapes.
I think without realizing it, they are
trading one for another.
They're trading one vice for another. It's not necessarily smoking. It's not necessarily drugs.
But is that a generational thing, or is that like a personal thing?
I think that it's a generational thing specifically because it's everywhere. Because it's literally everywhere.
Like, what do you see as a modern vice?
I don't even know.
Doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling. I think this epidemic level of poor attention spans. I think is a thing. I think, an addiction to technology, I consider it a vice because to me, it leads to illiteracy. It leads to poor interpersonal skills and things like that. I think that it leads to
instant gratification,
a demand for instant gratification, and it's like, I think it makes people more, I think it makes them mean.
But here's the thing. People like us who sit here on our platform and hem and haw about it, like, that's not going to solve anything. You're not going to get a Gen Z or a Gen Alpha to listen to this podcast and be like, you know what? They have a point there. Maybe I should, cut my hair and not be on my phone so much. Like, here's the real, if future generations are to make responsible decisions with their lives going forward for their benefit, for their health, for their, their intelligence, their mental well-being, the real question should be, what is the key to getting them there? Because again, like, I can tell I'm off all this week.
Yeah.
And I can tell my coworkers, what they're supposed to do while I'm gone, but that doesn't mean it's going to resonate with them. That doesn't mean they're going to retain it. They'll probably be calling me 10 seconds later and be like, wait, what did you say? Oh, wait, I forgot this. Like, what? Huh? Because the short attention span of most people has led to just the yesing to death. Like, and then, oh, wait, what did you say 5 seconds ago? Like, I mean, I'm even guilty of that.
Yeah.
But like I said, the real question is, what is the most effective way to get people to make better choices? How do we get them on that track?
That's a tough one because it's all a matter of developing self-sufficiency. And we are face down in a pool of
blue toilet water,
helicopter parenting, and all of this bullshit.
Helicopter parenting.
Yeah, where parents
never heard that before.
They're all attachment parents and everything. It's like,
the best friend parents.
No, not even the best friend parents. The parents that won't let the kids fail.
Yeah.
You're guilty of it too.
I mean, like, I really wanted to go pick him up today, but I'm just like, he's gonna be 16. Like, he's got to fend for himself at some point.
But
like,
also,
he should be all right. Because if it's an emergency, he'll be like, "Come get me." An
emergency is an emergency. But think about when the boy is here, okay, the little one, and he wants to play a video game, and he's failing miserably. And what do you do?
Well,
What do you do?
I coach him through it.
You coach him through it very aggressively sometimes because you can't stand to see him doing something badly. And I'm just like, let the kid fucking fail.
No, the reason I'm so quick to run to his aid is because I've seen this before. And it's that if he sees himself not doing well, he won't, not persist is the wrong word. He'll give up too quickly, and then he'll say, "Well, like I'm not doing well at this," so he'll just give up, and that hurts me to watch because it's just like, I never gave up that easily. Like, I kept going until got better, and it wasn't just video games; it was everything. Like what I'm seeing in the kids in particular, not even just the kids, but like younger, like, because I used to work in school, so
so did I.
Is that when the kids have even an inkling that they're not doing well at something, they're very quick to just give it, like, well, if I suck at this now, I'm never going to get it, so fuck it. And it's just like, well, no, you have to work at things to get better at them. It's like the people who are afraid of rejection so much that they don't even want to try and maintain a relationship.
But what does it do for a child when you just give them the answers?
Well, you don't necessarily always have to give them the answers, but you should at least show them a way towards show them that there is a pathway towards success. Like I said, I could tell my coworkers till I'm blue in the face, the right way to do things, but again, if they don't, like, there has to be a way of conveying it. There has to be, you have to find a way for them to relate to it, because if they can't relate to it, it's not going to matter to them.
But if it doesn't matter to them, then why make it matter to them? Like, if a kid is doing badly at something, right? Let's say he wants to learn how to do something, and he's not learning it. He's not picking it up. Impatience sets in, and he's not doing it well. So he says, fuck it, I'm not going to do this anymore. Well, then why force him to get better at it?
You don't. That's where you create generational distance, between parents and children. Like, I remember when I was teaching Oliver how to play guitar for the first couple of times, there was things he wasn't getting, but I'm like, listen, the truth is, if you really want to get good, you got to do it on your own. You have to make it matter to you, because that's how I did it. Like, I could teach you things all day long, but if it's not important to you, like, look at what a great drummer he is now. I didn't teach him any of that. He did that on his own.
Yeah. But he wanted it. That's
the key. That's the key for anybody to get good at anything. They have to want it.
Yes, but that's why I'm not going to say I'm hands off necessarily, but that's why I'm like, it's sink or swim.
But it's a video, but at least with Henry, it's a video game.
It's a video game. And to be perfectly honest, is that if he is not doing well and he says, I don't want to play this because I don't do well at it, it's like, oh,
but how often do you see me forcing him to keep up with it? If he doesn't want to play it, I don't force him to keep up with it.
Now, okay. You want to talk about?
Come on, don't spend this whole thing shitting on me.
You want to talk about a generational culture war, okay? That kid can rewind a video game. He can rewind a video game and not die.
Yeah, but he also doesn't remember every time how to rewind it. So,
but
I'm not going to remind him.
That's a fucking cheat. That is a goddamn cheat.
We had Game Shark and Game Genie back in the day. Yes, we did.
What the fuck is Game Shark?
Game Shark and Game Genie were these cartridges that went in the system, and you put the actual cartridge on top of the Game Genie cartridge, and it had like there was. Did
it stop you from dying?
No, it provided you with cheat codes.
See, I don't believe in cheat codes. I didn't then, and I don't now. The closest thing to a cheat code that I ever used while playing video games as a child was getting the warp whistle in Mario 3.
See, I didn't have either one of those, but I had friends that did.
Yeah.
And as an adult, I don't see anything wrong with cheat codes in video games, because I want to get to the end of these things. I want to see,
Yeah, you don't want to win the game. You just want to get to the end of it, because in order to win it, you do have to play
I mean, there are games that I've beaten. Like, how many times have I beaten fucking Pokemon in my life? But, it's just like, sometimes I want to see the end to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World.
What does the end of Street Fighter look like?
It's different for every character. Everybody's got their own ending.
That's nice.
This is a good talk. And on that note...
Come on, we're not done.
No,
we're not done.
Well, this is talking about generational differences is a far cry from talking about odd trends.
Well, I mean, I think that's where it starts. I mean, we believe that their trends are weird.
Yeah, but I'll tell you,
we
are far more accepting of the generational differences than, say, my parents were.
Yes.
Because again,
yes, we are.
Couldn't leave the house with, even though I did, couldn't leave the house with ripped jeans, or, God forbid I even get a tattoo, like my first tattoo, or, I was raised in a very strict household. Like I had so many friends that were allowed to be on their own at like 12, 13. Like I wasn't allowed to be on my own till like 15, 16.
Amanda and I were essentially latchkey kids because both of our parents worked.
Yeah.
And when we were deemed responsible enough to not burn the house down, we were left to our own devices.
Except my parents, who originally come from the city, grew up with that mentality of like, you got to lock your doors and you got to lock your cars and you got to,
I remember having a friend in high school who did not lock her front door. And I was like, in high school. And I'm just like, this is weird.
It was that experience of what happened to other people they knew who may not have done those things that led to that paranoia that stayed with them well into moving into suburbia.
Mm-hmm.
So and I would tell Dad, I'm like, Dad, this is like suburban Connecticut. You don't need to carry 3 guns every time you go out of the house. Like, he never carried 3 guns. He carried 2.
Two and some spare mags.
Yeah.
But like, that's just it, is that, like, I don't think that it necessarily,
There's a generational difference between him and I. I'm like, Dad, one is fine. Like,
yeah, right.
2, that means, are you anticipating? Well, you never
know. You never know. I think that you and I and a lot of people our age are more accepting of it, but I still think that there is an issue with allowing for individuality. I think that self-sufficiency is a problem for younger generations, and I don't know why we took it upon ourselves as the new parental generation. I don't know why we took it upon ourselves to have to manage our kids' lives.
I mean, listen, we're sitting here joking about the broccoli heads, but at the end of the day, I think we are doing the next generation a great disservice if we are not equipping them with the ability to build their own confidence. Because I was not given those tools. I was told, sit down, shut up, do as you're told. Not just by my parents, but by teachers and by administrators and by everybody. It's just like, if you're going to act out, we're going to stomp you down. Like, you will not act out as long as we're around. And it's just like, but
act out meaning
like, do what I want, say what I want, be who I genuinely, am.
Which isn't it shitty that that's considered acting out?
It killed my self-confidence.
Yeah.
I had to, like, that's where, what people have described as me being an asshole comes from, because now as an adult, I can do and say what I want when I want.
That's the joy of being an adult.
The greatest gift my father ever gave me was, at a really pivotal moment in my life, he was like, you do no matter what you do what you think is best, no matter what anybody says.
But I think that it's unfortunate that this new generation is under the impression that confidence stems from fitting in. And fitting in means following all of these ridiculous ideas and trends and everything like that, and having the latest technology and doing this and doing that and everything. It's like no one's an individual anymore. Everyone's just one person.
Always resorted to fear as a motivator.
Yeah.
And because of that, I said, I'm never going to use that on my kids. I did enough of that with Oliver when he was younger, and look at where that got us.
Yeah.
And I've never done it with Henry, but it's just because you don't need to. It's just like, why allow for them to live in constant fear of, what could be?
It's the idea of prison, yeah. Is what it really boils down to, is this whole idea of, if you fear, if you fear
the unknown,
the consequences enough, if you fear the consequences enough, it'll keep you in line. Period. And
that's an outdated tactic.
It's the same idea in prison. And now people don't give a shit about going to prison.
No.
Because they're just
like we were talking about earlier, because now we see all these videos of people on social media who, when they get pulled over, the first thing they do is, I don't have to give you my license.
Yeah.
I don't have to give you my insurance. I don't have to. What are you pulling me over for? What crime have I committed? And it's like, why do you have to be argumentative?
It's like, one of the few times I've ever been pulled over by a cop was I was speeding, and I know that, but I was I was passing on the left going downhill, and the cop caught me. And I was speeding to get around another car and everything. So it was bad timing, or good timing, if that's what he was trying to do. But literally pulled me over and asked me, is like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I really don't. And he was like, I got you going 78 and a 55. And I was just sort of like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't deny it.
Like,
I'm like, I know.
I've been pulled over a bunch of times for a bunch of reasons. I've received dozens of tickets in my life, but every single time, whether I got a ticket or not, no matter who the cop was, no matter where it was, okay, yeah, I always hand over the license, hand over the registration, hand over the insurance. And to me, that's not, submitting to,
it's not,
and to tyrannical, authority figure. That's common courtesy.
Well,
the person is doing their job.
Yeah.
They don't deserve to be, harassed, like they don't deserve to have to deal with belligerence any more than I should have to from that. Like, because no, with the exception of one instance, which is irrelevant to this conversation, no cop has ever treated me disrespectfully.
Yeah.
It's always been like, slow down, have a good night.
Yeah.
Have you been drinking anything? No, on your way. Because if you don't act like a dick, if you follow our rules, you're going to be on your way, and so are they. You both get to go home to your families.
But it's also, what gets me about this specifically, about this whole thing, with, now the new thing is filming every traffic stop, right?
God.
Filming every traffic stop and getting your 15 minutes for being an asshole to a cop.
Because it's going to get clicks.
This is what I really want to I want to shake these people for one specific reason. One specific reason.
What is that?
You do not have to argue with the cop at a traffic stop. The ticket that you receive says, "Would you like to plead innocent?"
See, they don't even want to get to that.
You literally say, "Yes, please." And then you can go to court and you can be as much of an asshole as you want.
Yeah, to the prosecutor who'll just be like, I don't need this right now. Get
Seriously.
the fuck out of here. Like, I've had tickets thrown out. Like, oh, God forbid I should have to take a day off of work to go do that.
It's so stupid. I'm like, please. But it's all for social media. Yeah. It's all for social media because it's what people do
and
now.
Every fucking troll is going to see this and be like, what fucking moron gives his ID? Like, he doesn't know the law. He doesn't know blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I want to go home. Yeah. And I know the cop wants to go home. The cop didn't want to have to pull me over. I was doing something I shouldn't have been. And every single person in one of these videos was probably doing something they shouldn't have been. I've had people argue with me in the comments who are just like, how do you know they were doing something they should have been? Well, then why would the cop pull? Because they're tyrants who have weapons and superiority complexes.
Well, I've told you that my ex...
Like, you have an inferiority complex because you're too stupid to know how law works.
My ex was absolutely convinced that he was going to be pulled over for having his prescriptions on him. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how cops work. They don't actually have the ability to... tune into your brainwaves and be like, this guy's got pills on him.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have drugs for that.
I was completely unaware that they could see through. And I'm like,
they have drug detecting drugs that they can take. That's why their eyes are all beady. I just
wanted to fucking shake him every single time. I'm like, every time I picked up, I have a headache. Do you have something? He's like, I can't take this out. We're in public, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you think is going to happen?
Just wait for somebody to be like, oh, the only reason you guys haven't had any shit is because you got white privilege. It's like, go fuck yourself.
White passing, thank you.
How are your jeans?
I got good jeans.
Yeah.
I got baggy jeans.
Like GENES or
I saw a meme that said good jeans, and it was a picture of Gene Wilder and Gene Hackman in denim shirts in like a prom pose, and I'm like, that's good jeans. That's good jeans.
Like talk about a trend. Now you have people that fucking complain about like this, like why is it more of a trend now to read so far into these things that 10, 15, 20, like we wouldn't have, like, wouldn't have even crossed our radar.
I don't know. I think that something, and I'd love to know where it started, but somewhere along the line, the idea of taking a comment, a compliment, a criticism or anything at purely face value. Somewhere along the lines, the amount of skepticism that gets sprinkled on that became so heavy. It became such a heavy dusting of skepticism that the idea of face value doesn't even exist anymore. It just doesn't. And I think that is something that I think that's a disservice that's being done. I'm not doing it. I will not take responsibility for because I play devil's advocate to everybody. And every time somebody says, well, that person is being offensive, it's like, are they though? or maybe you're just being a little sensitive. Maybe they didn't mean what you thought they mean, kind of a thing. Like we were talking about compliments before, and the difference between, a compliment and flirting. And it's like the fact that there's no difference between being flirty, having a flirtatious personality. No.
We were saying that there was no difference between being flirty and hitting
on somebody. Yeah. And that people will say, "Oh, I'm not hitting on them. I just have a flirty personality." And it's I'm sorry, no.
2 women gave me a compliment tonight.
Yes, compliments are different, but that's just.
But we made a joke about it because
I'm your wife, and if I had been next to you, I wouldn't have decked either one of them for being like, "Oh, I like your tattoos."
Well, because they would have complimented you too. Everybody that sees the 2 of us together is like, "Oh, I love your tattoos," like meaning both of us.
Because we're the couple of the year.
We were walking into the gym, last week or the week before, and this girl and her friend were just
we get accosted
"You're
all
the
the
cute
time.
gym couple."
we are accosted constantly.
Yeah,
I like that.
Just wait until people are like, "It's Downtown Andy and JJ Star." Oh my god!
One of these days. Well, this was a talk.
It was.
This went in a bunch of different directions, but I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
We are. We're malleable that way.
We are.
Yeah.
We're
Look
malleable.
it up.
We bounce.
Merriam-Webster's waiting for you guys.
Thank you out there in podcast land for tuning in. Please. Please find us on social media. Find us. Now, the worst part is you're not going to be able to get that back on. It's going to fall.
Boom. Roasted.
Find us on social media.
For those on audio only.
We're on Instagram.
Go watch the YouTube.
Yeah, for anyone who didn't get to see that, you're really going to want to.
It's about 50 minutes in.
DT Andy and JJ Star on Instagram. Send us an email at dtandyandjjstar@gmail.com.
2 R's.
Let us know. Yes, 2 R's. Let us know your questions. Your questions, comments, concerns for our well-being, whether or not my husband is in one piece. And ideas for future conversations and whether or not you'd like to be a part of it. And you can find tax collectors and harlots not only on Instagram, but you can find them at the Rat's Nest Run-In this weekend in East Durham, New York at the Blackthorn Resort.
Oh boy.
I know your schedule. You want me to just say it?
No, because it changed.
It changed?
It changed.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. All right. Well.
And with the way this is written, I'm a little confused because the way it was copied and pasted makes it look very straight. I think we are on Thursday. We're on at 3:30. I want to say.
Yeah.
Wait, no. No, we are on at 5 on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
And then Friday we are on at 3:30.
Okay.
And then Saturday we are on at 1. And Sunday we are on at 12.
Well, all right.
I gotta confirm. Just show up. We'll be there.
Show up. They'll be there. Okay.
Yeah.
They're playing at least once every single day. Go find them. Find them on Instagram, Tax Collectors and Harlots. Find Love Hard Art on Instagram and Coat of Arms Tattoo. We will be.
Real quick, while I have you, let's see. There's going to be the bands. There's going to be a cruise through town. There's going to be burnouts, burlesque pinup contest, and fireworks.
There's going to be fireworks, huh?
And social distraction. Everybody thought it was social distortion, but it's social distraction.
Clever.
Yeah.
You can find us at the Westchester Blood and Ink Tattoo and Horror Convention in October in White Plains, New York.
First weekend in October.
Very excited to announce that that is coming up a lot faster than I thought it was.
I cannot wait to see the reactions to the decks you are making this year.
Yeah. I've got some fun stuff in the works. I've definitely branched out a little bit. I think I've branched out quite a bit on this one.
Love these decks that she made for this one. And I think you will too.
I'm super stoked for everyone to see. So, come by, come through, have a good time. That's October 3rd, 4th, and 5th of this year. Tickets are on sale, so please check that out. You can find it on Instagram at Westchester Tattoo Con.
Is the celebrity list up yet?
No.
Really?
Nothing.
What are they waiting for?
I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on.
I need a selfie with Jason Marsden because I want to
with it. Well, we don't know that Jason Marsden is going to be back this year because they did a whole Hocus Pocus reunion.
What else has he got going on?
I don't know. What else? What else?
Because next to him, I'm Peter Steele. I am. Anyway,
I think that's all we've got right now, and that's that. Thanks for stopping by, and from the three of us at That Talking Podcast, I'm JJ Star,
and I'm Downtown Andy,
and we'll talk to you later.